All righty. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in.
That is not how instrumentals work. Morning.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
Come on in, come on in.
That's real. That's, I mean, that's
welcome to our celebration today. Uh, However you're showing up is exactly how we want you. Um, we are grateful for bringing your body, your energy, your story. That is creating a sacred space. And same to our folks online. Thank you for being here. We're going to light a candle to commemorate that sacredness.
Good morning, Valley and Mountain. And we just want to let you know that there is a bathroom here on this floor upstairs. For folks in the room, the bathroom upstairs is having some trouble flushing. So it will go part way, but it is not quite going all the way. So if you have the ability, we would prefer that you go down the stairs. You can follow them. And there's another ADA accessible bathroom downstairs and 2 stalled gendered bathrooms downstairs as well. So thank you for that. Sorry about the plumbing. And then we also have diapers in the back. I don't see any like young babies in the room, but if you ever, folks online, bring them in, we have supplies for you, and we're excited to have you here. There's also coloring pages and kids' activities in the back. There are headphones for any people with small heads, and particularly children who might find the music a little loud. And for adults who maybe need headphones for any reason or earplugs, we do have those on the front table as well. There's exits on either side of me here. This one has stairs, and this one goes around the building on kind of a rocky pathway. And then there is also like a band exit toward the back here. So if you need to leave for any reason, main doors out front and doors behind us. Any other Radical Hospitality things? Is that all the access stuff? There's donuts and coffee out there. Feel free to get up at any time if you need those. And as the kids will show you throughout service, you can make this space your home. So you can run around, you can stand, you can lay, but just pay attention to if we need to clear the aisles for any reason. All right, thanks y'all. I appreciate it. Enjoy the service. We're happy you're here.
Oh, get to heaven. What a day of rejoicing that will be. And we all see Jesus. We'll sing and shout the victory. Get to heaven. What a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout the victory. We have some guests all the way from Florida. What's up? We happy that you all are here. Well, look at here. I must have been living right this week. Jesse came to church. God wanted to show me that he was still working in my life. And that he was still able. We sing this song to folks who are new every week. The congregation has heard this story 1,000 times, but I feel like I should say it again. It was written for some queer kids who didn't feel at home in church, you know? And it made me so sad because church was such a place of joy and affirmation for me. And to find out that somebody had not experienced that was deeply grieving to me. And I want church to be the kind of place that it was for me, where I knew I was loved in a dangerous world. Oh, no matter where you are on life's journey, or where you are coming from, you can always call this place home. No matter where you've been or what you have done, I wonder, can you help me say, no matter where you are on life's journey, turn to your neighbor and say to them, oh, where you at, where you're coming from. Turn to your other neighbor and tell them that you can always call this place home. No matter where you've been or what you've done. Why don't you rest on your feet? No matter where you are on life's journey, walk around, go greet some people and tell them, oh, where you're coming from. You can always call this place home. You can always call. You can always call this place home. No matter where you
morning, Valiant Mountain. My name's Macy. My pronouns are she, her. Yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Austin. My pronouns are he, him. This is my first time at this church, and it's been really awesome to feel very welcome.
Today we're reading the liturgy. This one is called The First Snow. Ready? O Christ, King of snow, we bless you for bidding this blanket of white to cover us in holy hush, that our hearts might be quieted at the sight, and we might sense the emptiness of canvas over which your spirit broods, and upon which you would create and recreate our hearts in the image of the one whose word first spoke snow into existence. Amen. Thank you.
Good morning, Valiant Mountain. My name is Beth. My pronouns are she, her. I made that one on the stage. One of them. And I'll claim the other one who's visiting for the first time. I'm so glad to be here with you all this week. It's so good to see some old familiar faces, some newer faces, just new friends waiting to be made. This is a part of our service that we call Gratitudes, but really it's just a time for us to spend with each other in community, speaking aloud the things that are on our hearts, whether those are things that are giving us life and bringing us joy, or things that are grieving us that feel really heavy. This is a time where we get to share those things, and the joys are doubled and the burdens are halved. And that's the beauty of church math. That's just how it works. Don't ask me to explain it. So I'm gonna walk the mic around, but I'll go first. I have a few things that I feel especially grateful for this morning. I'm really grateful for the snow that fell at our house. It's really beautiful. I'm also really grateful that it's gone, because it caused us to lose our power. It caused a couple branches to fall off our tree right in our driveway. And so I'm also grateful that somehow miraculously those branches didn't fall on one of our cars. So, thank you, Spirit, for that shield of protection. Because I don't understand how it didn't hit one of our cars. I love you. Deanza, I hope you're having a really good time still. We're so grateful that you get to have time away, but we're so excited to have you home, too, when you're back. I'm also grateful that Macy is home for spring break, and that Austin gets to be here, too. It's just such a joy. Teenagers are amazing. They're so fun and thoughtful and funny and smart, and having multiple in our home right now is just the biggest gift. And yeah, go teenagers. Who else has something that they are grateful for, wants to give an update on something that we can pray about? Yes, okay.
I wanted to express my gratitude to God because I went to the neurologist this week and I don't have Parkinson's. But I'm also grateful for the love of this community that supported me through this process, especially Christelle, who accompanied me. So thank you, everybody.
I've been waiting for that update. Yes. I've been praying for you, so I'm so glad that's what we found out. So praise God. Thank you for that update. Who else?
I don't actually have anything. I was just afraid of Beth, so I raised my hand. We started hosting Do the Thing dinners where friends come over and work on a task they've been procrastinating, and then we feed them and hang out. It's been great. I know that sounds super old, but we are now, and it's fantastic. It's a hard time, so try to think of ways to be in community where you don't have to pretend everything is awesome, but also just be around your people. It's also been really hard to feed people. I have so many friends who are like weird about not being fed if they're not contributing or something, which like I didn't realize that was a thing. Like if I have something I want to share it, it's more fun. So we've been bullying some of our friends into letting us be nice to them. So I recommend you bully your friends.
I give thanks to Spirit for keeping us connected through distance and time, and whether or not we're still on the earthly plane or have transitioned. I had a friend that passed away in August, and one of our favorite memories was a concert that we went to together. And I got to see that artist again last night, and it was absolutely packed, but for the whole time, there was a gap around me that was the exact size, like it was enough space for a person. And I got to look over and be like, you're here tonight. Thanks for showing up. So I give thanks for the creative ways that Spirit just is always keeping us together.
It was so fun for me to look out and see all the snow around in the neighborhood and to see all the little kids out making snowmen, and some of the snowmen lasted quite a long time. And when I went on to my walk, I saw more snowmen, and so that was really a delight.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of leftover snowmen too, and that was really fun. Just evidence of joy and play.
Hi. First of all, it's amazing to be back in this space. I just have a little shout out for Izzy. It's been a good stretch for her. She just turned 22, like last week. She also got a promotion at her job, and I think the most important one, she just finished undergrad at University of Washington. So, just a little shout out for you.
Okay, hi, I'm Ainsley, and today is March 15th. It is the Ides of March. I don't know if people are familiar with that, but I'm really nerdy about it, so I'm going to talk for a little bit about it. So there's a Shakespeare play called Julius Caesar, and it's like about a real guy, but it's heavily dramatized. So on the Ides of March, Julius Caesar, he was a guy with like really weird fake comb over hair, right? And he really wanted to turn this democracy into a dictatorship. I don't know anybody like that in real life, though. So his Senate teamed up and they decided that on the Ides of March, they were all going to stab Caesar, and they did 23 times, including his best friend.
Get it, Brutus.
And I feel like that's a great energy to bring into the world today. So yeah. Yes, happy Ides of March.
May the Ides of March be ever in your favor. Or something. Any others in the space? It kind of makes me happy that none of you know how to be on time. It's like just a little trickle of blessings that come in. Like, oh, they're still here. Oh, they're here this morning. No, Joanne, seriously, it's not just you. But you are a sparkly little trickle in too, so I'm glad to see you. Yes. Yes, it's true. It's good.
Valley and Mountain is a vibe.
You got to be about it.
Hey! Let's go! Come on! Know that you are loved, even if you don't love yourself. Why ain't y'all dancing? Know that you are loved, even if you don't love yourself. Know that you are loved, even if you don't love yourself. You are loved, 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 you are loved. Know that you are loved, even if you don't love yourself. Peace, shalom, shalom. 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 Peace, shalom, shalom.
Hi. Hey. Okay. So, I'm Sam. Do you want to say your name?
Jordan.
Okay. So, I'm going to read a little poem called The Wily Wish of a Wolf. And before we start, do you guys think you can give us a little howl like a wolf or All right. Okay. Let's go. I much regret, O Lord divine, the reputation that is mine. Lies and untruths become a flood until one's name is worse than mud. Wolves, folks are told, are vicious beasts who turn chance meetings into feasts. Crafty and cunning from our birth, who in sheep's clothing roam the earth, seeking something to devour whatever falls within our power. Nothing's farther from the truth. Great God, we're gentle from our youth. Wolf packs are villages of love where young and old fit hand in glove. Unlike wild beasts, we mate for life and raise our puppies without strife. For food, wolves follow Earth's menu, the same as doves and lovebirds do. We're crafty? Please, dear God, get real. Come to our den and have a meal. Cocktails are at 3:30. What's for dinner? Wait and see. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys. If you want to, we're gonna have some fun kids activities, some fun games and stores, something going on downstairs. If you want to join us, okay. Thank you.
Peace, shalom, shalom. 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 That's good to me. Peace, shalom, shalom. Yeah. Peace, shalom, shalom. Peace, shalom, shalom. Yeah. Peace, shalom, shalom. Know that you are loved. All right, I got a thing. How about this? Now listen. All right, I want this side here. Over here. So, not you. But from here over. All right, I want y'all right here. Know that you are loved. Even if you don't love yourself. Help them out. Know that you are loved, even if you don't love yourself. Know that you are loved. Shalom, shalom. Even if you don't love yourself. Shalom, shalom. No music. Know that you are loved. Even if you don't love yourself. Know that you are loved. Even if you don't love yourself. Shalom. Know that you are loved. Shalom. Even if you don't love yourself. Know that you are loved. Good job, everybody. You get yourself in here. That was good. What we doing now? The babies, y'all gonna talk.
They're not babies, they're juniors in high school. Oh.
Yeah. Are they?
It's true.
They
Unless you were talking about the adults who are, in fact, I think we count as babies.
Oh, I'm baby.
I am
What
fully
is the,
baby.
so you got this?
I am definitely baby.
You got it?
Together. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, you do it.
All right.
All right,
Run
I'm
this
getting up. We can go.
All right. I'm going to take one out of the page of my mentor here and ask, what are we doing? Do y'all have any scripture or anything you want us to read before we get started? No. All right, come on up here. A friend of mine called me today and really wanted me to say, like, oh, that sounds like it could be bad, but everything's going to be all right. And instead I said, yeah, I've been following the news. That sounds kind of terrifying. And not to give you more context. And she said, why are you the worst? And I said, okay, sorry, my bad. All will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. So we take a prayer from Julian of Norwich and pray that even though we follow things and we know how the world is and we care for one another, that we believe and we hope for something a little better. So not quite scripture, but a tiny rant from my morning as we get settled in and get started today. And are we almost all up here? Do we need more chairs? I think we might. Okay. We can borrow this one. Padded one? Padded chair. And then, do you want pillows? No pillows. Okay, I guess then I'll do that too.
Roughing it.
No, I'm also gonna rough it. Do you have a mic? We can share maybe.
You might need a mic.
Y'all can tell us what we're doing today as well.
We're interrogating people.
Yep.
Is it on? Haha. We're interrogating people. I'm Jayla. Use any of the pronouns.
I'm Ainsley. Okay, so today we are interviewing these four, and I think this was introduced through the newsletter as interviewing four women, but I happen to know that at least one of these people, probably more than that, or maybe have a complicated relationship with the word woman. So my first question is, thank you, Beth.
For your
What pronouns do you use, and how do you relate to womanhood, or that word being used for you and growing up socialized female?
I can take that for first, I guess. Amy, she, they, hello. So funny that you should ask, because I have a bit of a complicated relationship with it, and that I grew up sort of being told, like, there are very strict lines between, you know, what was feminine, what was masculine. I grew up in a Midwestern town that was very, you know, gendered and American, so growing up, I was often told I wasn't, you know, woman enough or feminine enough or too much of a woman, because I grew very quickly. I've only grown 2 inches since 6th grade. So imagine how tall a 6th grader that was. And people thought I was older. People thought I was, you know, a grown woman when I wasn't. And so between that and people, you know, thinking I acted more like a boy in a lot of ways, with being involved in sports, and even, I mean, my mom has come a long way, but you know, she specifically didn't want me to play certain instruments, and we'll get more into me playing instruments later, but she didn't want me to play certain instruments because they weren't feminine enough for her. And so that was, you know, I had to go and take like secret lessons behind her back and learn instruments that she didn't want me to learn while I was playing my viola at home. But please tell me, anybody else chime in on the woman word?
Well, I was raised by people who became more and more conservative over time. And so the definition of woman that I saw in my mom and in my family and my church was really sucky. It was really bad, very oppressive, very small town, very conservative. And so it took me many years to decondition all of the bullshit and start to imagine a womanhood that was big. And I love this question because it's like at the crux of my journey, not only recovering from being sexually assaulted as a young woman, but also as a recovery from all of the conditioning about the ways our society tells me that my body is not my own. And the things that come with being a woman that I'm starting to really step into are this freedom of emotional and social expression, right? That a lot of the people who've been conditioned as males are told that they can't have the full range of emotions. And emotions are amazing, right? There are beacons of every unmet need we have in our bodies. Our emotions will tell us all about them, right? We're also the keepers of the hearth. We're the ones that say, wait, my children are dying in this war. This is not okay. We're the ones that create the change when the men are too busy being buttheads, right? And so there's like a lot of things that are innately feminine that I was never raised understanding or being talked about.
My name is Crystal, and I just asked to be seen. It's not them, they, just can you see me in a world that wanted me to be invisible and wanted to name my sense of not even womanhood, but worth based upon my skin color. And I grew up like with a mother, so my image of womanhood came from my mother, who was anything but typical. I would see her and enjoy her in the garden. We would go fishing. She would get up in the morning, she cooked, she was a mother. And then in the evening, I was raised in the military, and my father's rank, they were often entertaining diplomats and embassies around the world. So if you can imagine her being in her those little tight short pants in the 60s in the garden, then getting up in the evening and leaving the house like Jackie O with her coiffed wig and her fine sequin gowns. And so she showed me that a woman wasn't limited. I had my own struggles because of being violated at the age of 5. I did not want to be a girl, and so I was a tomboy, right? But I was also a home person. I started cooking at 10, I had my gardens, I didn't like dolls, I liked sports, and I loved music. That was the place where I hid, and in books. So a woman to me was capable, unlimited. She was resourceful. She made the budget stretch. She didn't let us know that we were poor. we loved. I remember Julian has on that beautiful tutu, and I remember this slip that she bought at a secondhand store with just ruffles, and it was the first time I felt like I liked being a girl. But it was, I'm trying to find a way to see that it was something that was embodied from within and didn't have anything to do with, I described how she looked outwardly, but inside, what she gave me as womanhood was, could not be defined. It was how she responded to whatever needed to be done in order to ensure the stability of her family, but not herself. So I'm aware of that image of womanhood that is just serving through beauty, through labor. But I became, as an adult, keenly aware of the absence of how she included her own personal sense of self-care, that inside piece.
My name is Summer. I use all of the pronouns pretty flexibly, and I think that I didn't know you could push the boundaries of gender or womanhood. Well, I know I didn't know until college, probably not even the beginning, like maybe my sophomore or junior year of undergrad. I was like, oh, you can. I already understood gender as contextual, but I didn't internalize that like I could play with gender as well, and like what it means to me and to explore. But my desire to be like playful in my expression of gender was never, for me, and I know that this isn't true for everyone, but it didn't come from a place of discomfort or dysphoria or rejection of womanhood. In fact, I think that when I started to use gender-neutral pronouns, I felt that it was almost easier for people to understand that I was playing with masculinity, but it was really hard for me to remain affirming that I was not rejecting womanhood and had no interest in rejecting or like pushing away from the feminine parts of myself. And then as I started to like explore being non-binary, I found it harder and harder to like grasp publicly that I wasn't separating myself from femininity even as I was leaning into other ways of embodying gender and exploring gender. And I still like really struggle with that and find that like it can be really hard for myself. And then sometimes I think that it's really hard also to embody masculinity. I think that being, if like womanhood and manhood are understood as like adult terms, then I think that like there are a lot of things that any kind of person in their personhood can embody traits. And there's something really, really specific and meaningful to me about being socialized as a young person to become a woman and as a girl. It affected the way that I was treated by the world. It affected the types of harms that happened to me, like y'all have spoken to. And I remember, I was thinking about this recently. I'm 30 now, and I was like, you know, my entire adult life, I've never been catcalled and like harmed as much as I was when I was a teenager. That was the time when adult men, most of all, were really pushing a lot of, and I see a lot of the like women types of people in the room nodding, like pushing a lot of harm. And now, as we're seeing the little sliver of the publicity of things like the Epstein files, which has rocked a lot of us even though we knew it was happening, and other kinds of harm, and even the like, and I don't mean to push back if this is folks, I don't mean to yuck any yum, but even like the obsession with things like true crime, I find to be like really difficult to hold, because a lot of it is like a pornography of violence against women, and then not to even mention pornography, which is also often so violent if it's not like a queer sort of realm of the world. But my desire towards pastoral care has always stemmed from leaning into the types of womanhood that I saw my grandmother express. My grandma was always fiercely independent. I've never witnessed so many people, like I've never witnessed anyone in my life set boundaries the way my grandmother does. I saw her end long-term relationships. I heard her talk about the love that she has for her previous partners and move on. I saw her like pick up and move across the country because she was sick of being in a particular place. Like she was always so fiercely independent that it was like embodying my grandmother's womanhood that made me be like, I'm gonna move somewhere where nobody I know is. Seattle. Like it was fully. But I joke that like because gender is contextual, you know, I moved to Seattle and I became this adult who gets to experience and embody a lot of gender fluidity and exploration, even while I'm rooted in a certain type of socialization that will never separate me from like a collective of woman and womanhood. Because people socialized as men don't experience the things that we experienced as children or still experience in the world sometimes. Not in the same type of way. Not that violence doesn't happen from patriarchy on young boys and young men as well, but it's, there's something collective that happens. But, there was, just last thing is I think that if I had moved to somewhere like Southern California or to Texas where my family is, I guarantee you I would have embodied a Dolly Parton womanhood the way like nobody, like for sure, because gender has always been play to me. And I guarantee I would have saved up and gotten like a boob job or something. Like I would have been like this kind of Southern woman, because I think gender is so playful, and I happen to come to Seattle, and I'm so happy with the exploration and play and gender fluidity that I've found here. But I know that if I ended up somewhere else, it would have looked different. And if I met Dolly Parton, I would have figured out how to do my like hair and makeup, and maybe it would have been something like that. But I don't know. Yeah.
I love that. Our next question was, if you got to choose one thing people learn from you or remember about you, what would it be? Or more than one thing. Really, yeah.
That I have great hair. No. Yes. I hope they remember my shoe. No, seriously though, I would say like the most important thing that I try to put out in the world and want people to remember about me is just love. Like I think that like love is so important, and I have my little "all you need is love" and "love is all you need" tattoos, because I believe it. I think that if we loved each other better, if we loved each other at all in some cases, if we were putting that out in the world, that like we would be able to solve a lot more problems, we'd be able to do a lot more things, we'd be able to because we'd be able to work together, and I think that is what needs to happen.
Love. That is I really think that's all there is. And my desire to walk with love and to see it in the world and to remind people that they are love. I am the person sitting in a restaurant in Tiburon because I needed to love myself. Looking at a family with a mother sitting quietly while the father and the children talk to each other. And I saw the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen. And I got up from my table and I just said, "Excuse me, but I just have to tell you how beautiful and regal you are." And it stopped the conversation, and she sat up and she said, "It's been so long." I break for beauty in the middle of a doctor's appointment when they're talking surgery, that I just say, "Oh my God, the color blue of your sweater is so uplifting." And the doctor said, "What?" And the assistant said, "Yeah, your sweater is really beautiful." And it just changes the vibe when you acknowledge in people just who they are, the little things that they do, or what they don't realize that they've done to make the world a better place just because they are there. That is love. And seeing it and reminding people that things are going to happen in life. It's not going to be smooth sailing. If it is smooth sailing, then that's a pretty strong drug that you're on, right? And I don't even want any of that. I want to be able to ride those waves, to go down, to get pissed off, but knowing that the foundation of my being is love. It doesn't mean you don't feel, you don't express, you don't feel anger, grief, or sorrow. But my foundation is love. Yeah. God is love. You can say anything, all these rules, but that's the first thing. God is love, Love thy neighbor as you would love thyself. And I feel like that is the crux of what's happening in the world, that people do not love themselves. So it's hard to love someone else or to see someone else in love when you're trying to look like or be like what you think love is, rather than just like in your gut knowing that I'm love. Everything else will fall away. But can you know that? That to me is what it means to be, created in the image of God. It's love. That's it.
Beautiful. And I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Christine. I go with she, her pronouns. And I think, long after I'm gone and people are talking about me, I would really like it if they just said, I got the sense that I was bigger than I knew. When I hung out with Christine, she really got across that I had something.
Yes.
I had something to give this world, and especially those of us in groups that are made to feel small, made to feel quiet. I just really celebrate that we can be loud and big and tackle big stuff, And maybe that's one of the things that comes as you get older. You start seeing wow, that was a really dramatic change. Those of us that remember the 60s and 70s, shit's changed. And I think as I talk to my kids, I forget that they don't have that. They don't know how big we can be. They don't know how much we can create change. So I hope that I can be that voice.
Y'all have such beautiful answers.
I want people to be like, summer was fucking weird. I want people to yeah, I don't know. When people remember me, I want to be like, yeah, like we met up with this one time. Like I want the experiences we have when we're together to be like whimsical. Like I want people around me to feel like they can like do anything they feel that they want to do and be as weird as they want to be, because I will like do my very best to match that, at least, you know. Yeah, I just want people to be like, I don't know, something weird. Yeah.
Our main like spiritual question is, how or why is music important to your spiritual or religious experience or practice? Yes.
Look at me. I guess I'll say something about music. Yeah, so I grew up playing music. I started playing the viola when I was 9 years old, or 10, 9? Yeah. And then the next year I started playing the drums, the next year I started playing the guitar, and then the bass, and then a bunch of other random things. And I started music before I started church. I started music at 9, I started church at 12. And it didn't take too long for it to become something that became associated with each other. Once, you know, a church, not this church, but once that church down the street and around the corner, once a church sees that sort of talent in you, it can be kind of overwhelming in their desire to sort of feed into that talent, but also to like display that talent. And so I actually got into some places where I've gotten to do a lot of things because of my music and spirituality together. I've gotten to play at some conferences, play drums at some very large Christian conferences and things, stuff like that. But I also got to a point with a church that I was going to back when I lived in DC, where I felt kind of exploited, and not just myself, but I was taking my little brother to the church with me. He is also good at playing music, and I felt like we were like the church wasn't pouring into us at all, but they wanted things and they wanted us to perform for them. And so I actually took a pretty long break from playing any sort of church-related music. And when I first started coming to Valley and Mountain 8-ish years ago, I didn't want to touch worship with a 10-foot pole. Like, I didn't want anything to do with music. I didn't want anybody to even know I was a musician at first. And it took Sekou coming along and bringing in folks like Danny that I was like, I want to play with that guy. Like, just seeing it online and being like, oh, I want to play with these people. I want to put myself back into that. And because honestly, there was a time when that was all I was getting out of church, was the only time I felt connected to God was when I was playing. And when I wasn't playing, a lot of the churches I went to, nobody was really pouring anything into me. And it was, I tell people I've been, going to church since I was like 12, which is some years. But I haven't had a pastor that has pastored to me in the way that the pastors here have, ever. And I've been, going to church a long time, playing music in church, being, a part of youth groups, leading music. But yeah, so it's been a real up and down journey. And now I'm kind of in a middle place where, like, it's not the only thing that connects me to God. It's not my only association. But it's something that I can do and bring, and it's a talent that I feel like I can share and don't feel like it's being sort of pulled out of me.
So I'm not telling you this just because my last answer was that I want you to think I'm weird. But when I was a kid, I had like a tape player that I listened to a lot. And I pretty much only played one tape. And that tape, maybe some of you, not you all probably, but some of you might know the like, it was called like Horror Sounds of the Night. What? Yeah. And one side of this tape is like, just kind of like clinking and dragging and like, whoa. And it goes on for like an hour. And the other side of the tape, which I did listen to less because it's terrifying, was just a lot of like, like just really messed, like,
You're weird.
I listened to this tape a lot. and I read my Goosebumps and I read my R.L. Stine Fear Street. This is coming from somebody who just 2 questions ago said that they don't like that people watch true crime, so I don't. But this is my connection to music, and I don't know why, I don't know what this says about me, but also sometimes, you know, I read my R.L. Stine, I read my Fear Street, I read those Choose Your Own Adventure books. I also sometimes read the Bible while I was listening to these creepy There's me reading Genesis. God breathes into Adam. I don't know if that counts as music, but now you know a little bit more about me.
Oh my God, you still have it. Wow.
We appreciate your candor.
Oh my God, thank you. What was the question again?
Oh, yeah. Well, music is, to me, it's a gift. It is a gift from God. It's, I think my real coming of age time was when we were in Norway, between the age of 7 and 11. But yeah, my mom would get up on Sundays and we'd listen to Sam Cooke, Dinah Washington, you know, the Impressions. That was church, and she'd be in the kitchen cooking, and I would be dancing. And I know God through my body when I'm dancing. I can't not hear like Danny's riff this morning that was like King Sunny Ade. It just does something to me, you know, and when Reverend Sekou gave his reflections on his son, Gabriel, and then he sang Redemption Song, you know, that is, like, that's my personal anthem. When I hear Aretha Franklin, when I hear the Grateful Dead, you know, I got to dance on stage with the Grateful Dead, the 25th anniversary of Love. I danced with the Chambers Brothers. Do you hear me? I dance, you know. Carlos Santana woke me up on Maui at the, just, something happens to me. You know, I remember being at the Freight and Salvage, and there was an African all-star band playing, and I just could not, I mean, the dance floor cleared out for me. And I was just like in God, and God was in me. And then I opened my eyes up, and the guitar player and the singer was in front of me dancing. It's like something just happens, that it's not my body, but it is spirit, it is God, it is liberation and freedom. And I felt that the first time I encountered Reverend Sekou at Glide Memorial Church. And I sent him the video. It was the 16th of January, 2016. And there was this band and this pastor and his dreads going, and yeah, and there's this, I'll send the video, there's this a queer member in the audience with his fan. Every time Sekou would hit a note, he would like his fan. Pop. He was just like popping, and it was like, Lord, I just knew at that time that that was my pastor, and that was he just touched my soul in a way that I never experienced, and I thought I would have to go to New York. So 3 years ago, when I was just worn to the bone from just serving and supporting people, especially during COVID, with spiritual presence, that I Googled progressive interfaith church with good music. And his picture popped up. That was my response, and it's like, holy shit, he's 20 minutes from me. And I've been home ever since. If I'm watching on video or here, it's like, this is it. I don't know how to say this, but this band, I mean, I've had my own private mosh pit moments. It's just unbelievable. Our voices that we bring in each Sunday, it just touches me. I mean, right now there's this energy moving through the core, that vertical line between heaven and earth, because I'll be in the middle of the day, and it's like, I will not bow down. And I'm so grateful I have my own store, because people walk into this, and they walk into church when they come into my store, because there's a music playing all the time. And they may not get it, but they just say, oh my God, it feels different in here. I said, that's because God is in this place. And that music that touches you, right? Yeah, so I love to dance. I love music, classical, country, rock, folk music. It's all like coming from this deep place from artists that I know that it is beyond the mind. It is their spirit pouring out into us, and it just is what life is about. It's a frequency, it's a note, and it lifts me up. It lifts me up, and I know that I'm alive through music, and I know God is real, because it's a ministry. Music is a ministry, whether people call it that or not. But, like right now I'm thinking of Jerry Garcia, having dinner with him backstage and seeing that look, just thanking him for all that he's given. And he just had this smile. He does this thing with his glasses, and I think musicians know that they're really feeding the world.
I know we're running short on time, but I want to share why that question is really important to me. I grew up going to church. My mom was the youth ministry director for like 11 years at Kent United Methodist. And she's a singer. I know she's watching. Hi, Mom. And so I've always had a lot of trouble falling asleep. And so my mom would like stay with me when I was like 3, 4, 5, 6. And I would be like, Mom, can you sing Here I Am, Lord? And so she would sing it over and over again till I fell asleep. And it's still a really important song to me. And so music and spirituality are really connected for me. My first concert actually was Jamie Grace. I don't know if people know her. When I was like 9. So yeah, anyway. My next question is, it's the last one. Oh my gosh, I can't open my phone. What does hope mean to you, and how do you stay hopeful amidst the all?
So a week ago, I was standing with a group of people who borrowed songs from Minneapolis, who borrowed the Resistance Singers playbook, basically, speaking of music. And they were just vibing and so at peace as they basically called out Target for some really bad practices. And what was beautiful about that is I saw in these folks, with each song, more and more hope, more and more joy, more and more sense that every shopper that decided, I'm not going to cross that picket line, that they were doing something, that they were creating the change that they wanted to see. And so, yeah, I'm getting my yayas on the street right now. Just watching people step up to the many, many opportunities we have to contradict the bullshit. And witnessing each other is hope. Supporting each other is hope. And it allows me to listen to the news without just totally, like, just regressing as a human. Yeah.
I struggle sometimes with the word hope because sometimes it feels like you're waiting for something, and my kind of hope isn't that kind of hope. My kind of hope is this lived experience that things may not be as I want to say, want them to be, or I need them to be, but it's not going to name me. That there's something more that's active right now that I can choose that will give me that feeling of where I want to be, what I want to experience. But to me, hope is like, this is just like faith, right? It's believing in something that's not seen but you know to be true. So hope is my faith because I have to live it. I have to experience it in the now and to be it as a verb rather than something that's going to be poured upon me or something that someone's going to see and give to me. And you know, because if I look at hope out there, then I'm depending on someone or something, especially within this empire that we're living, to see what my needs are. And I don't believe that that is true, because I don't know that they see and know God the way I know God within me. So why am I going to wait for them or have hope that they are going to know what truly feeds me? I don't see how they're feeding themselves, how they're feeding their neighbors. Brandy, how we can just like come, sup with me, and because I want to love you, I want to know you. This is community.
Like, set me up. Are we like in cahoots? Is that what's happening? We're in cahoots, y'all. Because I was gonna say that the two places that I really find it really is one place. It's love. It's community, and the love that you find in community, but also just love in general. Like I can't think about, like, I look at the people I love. I look at like Marcellus. I don't know if you know Marcellus. He is 4 and he is awesome, and he is my nephew. And I look at him and he is such a great little person, and not just because he's adorable and 4 and whatever, but like he's thoughtful, he's sweet, he thanks us for things, and he means it, and he tells people he loves them without prompting, and it's beautiful. And I can't not see hope in that, because like that's the future, and he's gonna, I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's gonna do something, and it's gonna be amazing. And the fact that that's true, and I can count on that because I know, is kind of hope for me. And then I see hope in I love my wife, guys. I love my wife a lot. I'm a wife guy. What can I say? And my wife often, sometimes when I struggle with hope, I see the hope that she has in the way that she looks at the world. And you can, insert person you love, but like looking at things from the perspective of someone else, or trying to, can really like inject a little more hope into you. Because, seeing her, sort of striving and thinking about the future and having hope for the future, and then I'm, excited about it too. Like, oh, what are we gonna get to do together in this life that we have? It's almost like I have hope because I can't not.
I think that's the word. Yeah. I think you all said it. Yeah. I can just uplift things you said, though, that it's like in the community and in the actions and in the love and in the microphone. I'm just repeating what Beth says because yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just add that it's hard. But ditto.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. And yeah, I think we're good.
Very much. Thank you.
Put your hands together for that panel again. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine, let it shine,
Let it shine.
Come on.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine, let it
shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine,
This little
let it
light,
shine, let it shine.
let it shine.
All right. Can we try? We're going to try that thing again as we greet our children as they return. On this side, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
That's you guys.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
All right, no music. Let's go.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine. Let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Hello again. As we say each week, Valiant Mountain is a community of co-creators, not a group of spectators or consumers. We pool our resources, and together we can do so much more than we can do apart. At this time, you can make an offering or make a monthly pledge. You can put physical things in these baskets, or you can give online. I know that there's a fundraiser going on right now to support our community member Tamara, so you can find that info online as well. Yeah. Oh, if this is your first time here, know that your presence alone is more than gift enough. We'll take a pause for you to consider your offerings.
Dance break.
Join me in the offering prayer. Wellspring of life, help us to use our offerings to make peace in our community. Set us free from fear, hoarding, and hostility, and renew in us the desire to become open-handed and open-hearted. Teach us to know what is enough, so that all may not just survive, but thrive.
You gotta come tell the story. If you are new here, the thing that is happening right now is that we are getting ready to offer communion. We offer gluten-free crackers and alcohol-free grape juice, so we want to make this really accessible for everyone here. We practice an open table, so that means you do not have to believe anything in particular to partake in this meal. This is about us coming together and preparing again for the week ahead. And before we share that, we have a story to tell that we tell every single week.
Long ago, Jesus arrived outside Jerusalem. The occupied people of the land went outside to greet him, and together they defied the emperor through the art of revolutionary street theater.
Jesus went to the temple, turned the tables, and welcomed in people who were sick and disabled who had been excluded from entering. They came to the center, their voices were heard, and it was a holy place.
The night before he was executed as an enemy of the state, Jesus gathered his friends to sing, pray, and share a meal that would build their courage for the journey ahead. He broke bread, poured the cup, and said, "Do this in remembrance of me."
Would you stretch out your hands as we bless this communion together and pray with me? Gracious God, pour out your Holy Spirit into us in these gifts, that through this cup and bread we may know that we are beloved without condition. Transform us and make us one body with you and with one another.
Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come where table is spread, and all are welcome. Come.
Come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come. Thank you.
Oh, come where the table is spread, and all are welcome. Come.
Come where the table is spread. Come. And all are welcome. Come. Come where the table is spread. Come. And all are welcome. Come.
Can you just say that?
Come where the table is spread. Come.
All are welcome. Come. Come where the table is spread. All are welcome. Come. The bread of life. The cup of liberation. Well, we've come the last mile of the way. Announcements. Before that, can we get the hands of 4 people to help us put this place back together? Can we? 1, come on. Somebody else help us. 2, 3, 4, 5. All righty. You all know how to put it together.
All right. We have some announcements about things going on in the life of our community here at Valley and Mountain and beyond. And you'll see some of these in the newsletter as well, or you can touch base with us if you need the info in writing. The first is not in the newsletter yet, but I saw this morning on my way to church, wanted to let folks know that International League of People Struggled, ILPS, there's some like weapons manufacturing convention happening downtown at the convention center on the 18th. And so there's a call to direct action response. I will have access to some of those details, and I'm gonna try to go. I think it's around noon. It's in the middle of my classes though, so let's touch base if you wanna go and see if we can get a little group together to show up with our community and to try to halt that action. It happened a few years ago, and ILPS led the action that actually did stop it. The convention had to delay for at least 2 days the last time this happened. So we're hoping that we can delay them again at the very least. But outside of that, well, actually, while I'm on that topic, table turning is happening on April 4th. Please note that the time has changed. We're going to be there from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So the previous time that's on the flyer, we'll have new flyers, but it's not early in the day. It's from 4 to 6 p.m. on April 4th. So back to going in chronological order. Today from 2 to 4 p.m., enough time to go get lunch. The youth and children's volunteer crew, we're gonna get lunch at Marination. You can come join our crew and volunteer with children and youth ministry, or you can have lunch together wherever you would like. But I would love for y'all to gather for lunch and then come back for Elda Sarah sharing about her book. We're so excited to hear from you, and I think it's going to be a really sweet opportunity to continue to gather this afternoon. So come back here at 2 p.m. after some lunch. Beloved community groups happen at 8 a.m. on Zoom every Saturday morning. Sorry, no, that's scripture study. Scripture study happens at 8 a.m. Beloved community groups also happen during the week on Thursdays, and you can connect with community if you'd like to learn more about that. I think that's everything. How did your Peace Under Pressure training go yesterday? It went great! Yay, awesome. Any other announcements in the room? All right, then I think that's it. They're all in writing. In case you didn't want to memorize everything, just come let me know and I'll get the information to you.
Why don't you rest on your feet? Get a little wiggle in your shoulders. You maybe want to wind it up, you know. May the Lord watch.
May the Lord watch
between me and thee.
Between me and thee.
While we're absent.
While we are absent.
One from another.
One from another.
I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
Lord willing.
Lord willing.
And the creek don't rise.
And the creek don't rise.
Oh, come to the table is spread. All are welcome, come.